of your chat GPT, right? So you can do it together, right? So let me open my chat GPT over here. Chat GPT or any kind of, what I can say, yeah, any kind of generative AI that you can use, right? So in our case, so let me go with this chat GPT only. Okay, so over here, right? Over here, what we will do is we'll see how we can write a better prompt. Okay, what are the rules of writing the prompt so that whatever the answers that we are getting, right? So that answer is precise and it is accurate, and whatever we are looking for, right? We are getting, right? Because this is what generative AI is all about. How good your prompt is, right? Your result is all dependent upon how good we are writing the prompt. So let us see, right, how we can write the prompts. What are the various rules that we can use, right, to get maximum, output from this particular GPT. So let us start, right? Right. So we all use, right, this one. We all use this Chat GPT, right, every day. Chat GPT or your Bard, right, or Google Gemini. Or in fact, right now what we are doing is whenever we are making a Google search, right? These days what we do is whenever we are making a Google search, what we get is we get an overview, AI overview on top of that Google search results, right? So it is generating some results based upon some queries. Okay, so that kind of query we call it as ad hoc queries. Okay, the query that we pass to this Google or query that we pass to this Chat GPT, right, we call it as ad hoc queries. Ad hoc queries means a query that does not have any particular structure, like your normal English, right? So whenever you are passing this normal English, say for example, right, if I am passing this particular question, right, how many of you have tried this Chat GPT or any AI tool for help in your work? Let us assume, right? So this is the question that I am passing to this Chat GPT. So this question is known as query. In technical term, we call it as queries, right? And over here, we are not writing any technical query. So if I go with technicals, right, I have to write select star from something, right? But I am not writing it like this. What I am writing is I am simply writing in plain English. Now this plain English is getting converted into your tokens, right? And then it is fetching the results and it is giving back to you. But writing that prompt is an art. Okay, it is an art. So you need to understand how we write the prompt, right? So there are two things, right? There are two things. So what is a generative AI? A generative AI is what? A smart assistant that responds to our queries, right? A smart assistant that responds to our queries. Now, if you see on that management side, right? So what we do is management relies on clear communication, right? That I have written over there, right? So in management, what we do is we rely on clear communication, right? Precise instructions. And what we do strategic thinking also. So if we combine all of those, right? If we combine all of those, then what we do is we get something that is known as prompt, a good prompt, right? This is what we use in order to go for your prompt engineering. Now let me give you an example, okay, of good prompts and bad prompts. Okay, what is a good prompt and what is a bad prompt? Say for example, right? I have a topic and I want to write some articles on this market research, right? I want to do some market research over here. Now, if you simply write it like this, you can try it on, right? Simply write this particular thing, right, in your Chat GPT, whatever the screens that you are having, right? Now, kindly execute this particular query on Chat GPT and see what you will get. Try to execute this, right? Simply write, tell me about the car industry. Just that. Right? You can use the cell phones, you can use your, desktop, PC or whatever you have, right? And simply give this particular input. Okay, I'm simply writing it like this. Right now it will start generating some answers. Right? It will generate some generic answers, right? It will write something, some answers you will get, right? But what is our main agenda? The main agenda is, right, market research. Right? We want to go for a market research, and whatever we have typed, right, tell me about the car industry, right, what it will do is it will give you a broader view. Okay, it will give you a broader view, and here you will not get much information that you are needing. Though we know that, right, ChatGPT is able to produce the answers, right, your Gemini or your generative AI is, able to produce this answer, but due to our queries only, okay, due to our queries only, it is not able to give that proper result. Now, how to get a good queries or how to get a good result, right? So, you can write it like this. So, if I can frame the same sentence like this, right? So, I am writing it over here. I am writing it as, give me a 200-word summary of the Indian electric car industry, right, in 2025, right, focusing on customer preferences and the government policies. Present it in bullet points. Now, if you write it like this, if you frame your, what you can say, prompt like this, that means over here what we are doing, we are being very, very specific. We are being very specific, right? What we actually want, the clarity in our thought, right? That same should we reflect in our prompt also. So here, in this particular prompt, right, now if you write this prompt side by side, right, if I write this prompt side by side, you will see a vast difference. You will see a vast difference in the answers, right? Whatever the answer that was generated previously by using that prompt, tell me about the car industry, right? Whatever the answers that you are getting, right, it is very, very different from whatever the answers that you are getting in the second prompt. In the second prompt, what you will get a clear and concise result. Okay, it will focus on your key areas. Now, the next thing to understand is how it will focus to that key areas. Okay, how it will focus to your key areas. So over here, how this prompt works, right? Let us try to understand that. So whenever we are giving this particular prompt, right, whatever generative AI that you are looking for, like, or that you are using, right, it looks for something that is known as keywords. Okay, it looks for keywords. Now, based upon that keywords only, it will generate the result. Now, if you remember the previous session where we have discussed attention mechanism, okay, where we have discussed attention mechanism. Now, what it will do is it will break down that particular keys, or we can call it as a queries, into words. Okay, right now it is a sentence. The sentence is broken down into words. So every word is now dependent on each other. Every word is dependent on each other. That means every one word is being attended by the another one. Okay. So this attention mechanism, what we do is we calculate the attention. How much attention a particular word is getting. So in our case, in second prompt, right? So here I am writing it like Indian electric car industry trends in 2025. So this is my main keyword. So now this keyword will have lot of attention. Okay, the attention score. If you calculate the attention score over here, what you will get is you will get a very good attention score in that particular thing, that is electric car industry in 2025. So it will search for all the related documents, right, that is present in 2025, and it will give you a result. Okay, this is how your generative AI works in a normal scenario, right? Now, let us go with the, another topic. Say for example, I want to write something for recruitment, right? So you want to recruit some people, right? You want to advertise something. Now, if you simply pass it like this, right? If you simply pass it like this, right? You can try it on, right? If I am writing it, if something is displayed over here, right? You can try it. You can write it on your ChatGPT right now also, right? What you can do is, let me show you over here only, right? If I write like this, write a job description, right? And if I go to this ChatGPT and I write it like this, so what it will do is it will generate some generic answer. Okay, it will generate some generic answers, right? So see, what you are getting over here is, right, it is asking you again, right? It is asking you again what you want actually, right? Though it can write it, right, but the instructions are not clear. The instructions are not clear. So it is asking me, right, what is the job, what is the title, and everything. So what you have to do again, you have to type the same thing. Write a job description for something, something, something. So instead of doing that, what you can do is, right, if I can write it like this, if I can write it like this, okay, if I can write it like this, that means here what I am doing, I am writing the prompt in as detailed as possible, right? I am giving all the keywords that are required. It is just like checking the answer scripts, right? Whenever we are checking the answer scripts, right, whenever you are doing evaluation, right, at any point of time, what we check is we check for keywords, no matter how long or short the answer is, right? What matters is the keyword. So now over here also it will do the same thing. It will try to find the keywords. What are the various keywords that are present over here? So if you can see over here, right, there are various keywords. So let me start with this one, right? So what I'm doing is I'm simply writing, right, write a 200-word job description. See, I'm being very specific over here, right? It should be 200 words. Okay, I am giving it a clear instruction that it should be 200 words, right? A job description can be very long, right? And if I want to post that job description on your newspapers, right, or any other platform, right, they cost money for each and every individual words, for each and every individual line. That's why it should be specific that if I want to publish something on your newspapers, right, they charge us money according to the number of words, right? So this has to be taken care of. So at the start only, I am saying that, right, write a 200-word job description for a digital marketing manager. And in a startup, right, include responsibilities, right, required skills, and one word. See, I am being very specific over here, right? So over here, what I am writing it like this, and one word that appeals to the employees, right? So it will write it accordingly. Now, say for example, right, if I copy this, right, if I copy this prompt and I go back and if I simply write it, okay, I will paste it over here. Now what you are getting is you are getting a very, very good, response, right? This is under 200 words, right? Everything is covered. So first of all, what it will give is, it will give you a job title. Okay, what is the job title that you are looking for, right? Job is digital manager, right? Digital marketing manager. So it will write what is digital marketing, what we are looking for, right? So see, if you see the answers over here, right? The answers are very tailored. Right? It looks very professional and it looks very tailored. So whatever the answers that you are getting, right, you do not need to stitch up multiple answers. Okay. So if you can give a good prompt, that means only one prompt is enough to get all the results. Right? So responsibilities. Just write the responsibilities as well. Right? So what are the required skills? Okay. What are the required skills and see words. Right? So what I have done, I have given a specific instruction that please add some words, right? So to attract these Gen Z employees, right? So what I am writing over here is, I am simply writing that enjoy flexible work from anywhere. Fridays giving you freedom to recharge, travel, or create from anywhere. So this is how I should give a prompt, right? So this is known as a complete prompt. Okay, so let me again give you this, prompt. You can try it on your machine. Okay, you can try it on your machine side by side, right? And you can see the difference. Right? If you happen to start with this first prompt, right? Write a job description, right? First of all, it will ask certain things. Then what you are doing? Say for example, if I am going back over here, right? If I am going back over here. If I am going back over here, it is asking me everything, see. Right? It is asking me everything. It is asking me what is the job title, right? What is industry, company type, okay, fine, that is fine. Key responsibilities. Now, instead of ChatGPT doing your task, you are doing the task of ChatGPT. instead of ChatGPT writing this job descriptions, right, or key responsibilities or descriptions, right, what you are doing is you are writing it, right? That means you are doing the job of ChatGPT or your generative AI or whatever the generative AI that you are using, right? So we don't want that. What we want that generative AI to work for us. Over here, what we are doing, we are working, right? It is asking us questions, right? It is asking us questions like what is the job title? Okay, fine. The job title you have given, right? Industry is also fine. Key responsibilities, right? Key responsibilities, everything. This is an entry-level program or entry-level jobs, right? Then you have to write everything. Then why do you use this generative AI? You can write everything on your own. You can simply open your Word, right? Your word processor, and you can simply write this job description by your own. Right? Then what is the help of generative AI? Okay, so instead of doing that, what I will do is I will write something like this. In 3 lines, I will write a clear and concise, query. Okay, so this is my query, right? Based upon this query, this gives the answer. Now, if I am not satisfied with a particular answer, then, or say for example, right? If I am not able to understand something, right, over here, say for example, this, right? So I am giving you an example of a ChatGPT, right? If I am not able to understand the second point, say for example, strong understanding of SEO, right? Search engine optimization, PPC, analytics, and social media platforms. So if I am not able to understand this particular word, then what I can do is, right, if you remember, or if you know or if you don't know, right, I can simply select this line, okay? I can simply select this line and see over there, you can see Ask ChatGPT. So you can be that much specific about a particular line as well. So if I click on this Ask ChatGPT, right, what I will get is, I will get this line. I will get your line, okay? If you can select, if you are working on the desktop, right, kindly do that, right? Kindly select the particular line. So over here, I am selecting this line, right? I am selecting this line. Now, once you select this particular line, and if you are not able to understand that particular line, what is the meaning of that line, right? Say for example, this is a simple one, right? But in research also, if you are using this and if you are not able to understand a particular line, then simply select that line, right? And you will see over here Ask ChatGPT. So I will simply go with Ask ChatGPT and I will simply write meaning of it. Okay. So it will explain what is the meaning of that particular line. So think for some time, right? Then what it will do is it will explain what is the meaning of that particular line. This is how much personalized you can get with your. Okay, it really depends upon how well you are writing and you are formulating your queries. So before writing the queries, right, formulate it first and then write it. Then you will get whatever the results that you are deciding, right? Now, say for example, I am not able to get this properly, this line properly, right? What is the meaning of this line? So I have just selected that line, click on Ask GPT, right? Then I am writing the meaning of it. So it will give you the breakdown of that particular word. What is the meaning of that particular sentence? Right? Sometimes it might get that it may include some technologies that you are not familiar with, some words that you are not familiar with. Then what I will do, I will simply select that word and I will simply click on explain and I will say that please explain that for me. So it will explain everything. Okay, it will explain everything. So see, what is the meaning of this creative thinker, right? Someone who can come up with a new original or innovative ideas, right? Everything. So this is how you can communicate with GPT or your generative AI. Okay, so for better communication, you need to write better prompts. Better prompts means what? Detailed prompts. Okay, a prompt should be detailed and it should be precise. Okay, that is what prompt engineering is all about. Now, again, right? So, what we are doing over here is, right, we are specifying something, right, and we are giving it a content. Okay, I want something under this many particular words, right? Then we get some better results. Okay, this is one way of doing it. The next way of writing a good prompt or the next way of doing the prompt engineering is by using agents. Okay, now let us see how we can use agents, right? So, say for example, right, some principles are there, okay? Some principles are there of prompting in businesses. That is, be specific. Okay. First of all, we need to be specific, which includes what, who, how long, and what will be the format. Okay. This is the first thing that you need to remember. The second one is add the context. Okay. First of all, be specific, then add the context, then the next thing is set the style. Okay. So I want my document, say for example, that be specific what I want. So I want to write a letter, right, of say for example, letter of acceptance, and it should be very formal. It should be very formal. And how many number of words are there, right? Whether or not I want a table, right? So say for example, okay. Now these are the things that we need to take care of. Now how to write it? Right? How to write? First of all, you need to formulate. Okay, the main thing that we need to do is formulate at the very first. That means we need to be specific about what we are looking for. Okay, say for example, you are looking for some research on this market, right? So that will become my main agenda. So I want to do a research in market something, right? And after that, what we do is we add the context. What is the context of that particular question? Okay, on what context we are saying? Say for example, the example that I have given in the previous session also, I am going to the bank. Right? I am going to the bank. So which bank? Either it's a river bank or it's a financial institution. Right? So if I simply write it like this, some XYZ is going to the bank, right? Then what you should treat it as? That means someone is going to the financial institution bank or someone is going to the river bank. Right? So for that, what we need to do is we need to add more context. Though it can do that, right? But it will generate different results. Right? So I am write a small story about bank. If I am writing it like this, or if I am saying it like this, right? Write a small story about a bank. So which bank? Financial institution bank or the river bank? Which one to write? I don't know, right? Because I have not been very specific. I have not given any context. Right? So instead of that, what I can write is, I can write it like, give me a short story about a financial bank. Now it will give you a story of a financial bank. Right? Now instead of that, what I can do is write a short story about a river bank. Then it will give you a result about river bank. So this is how easy it is to write a prompt. Right? And the next one. Right? So say for example, right? So we can have a small activity, right? So this is my prompt. Right? This is the prompt that I'm writing right now. Right? Help me improve sales. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, right, rewrite this prompt. Right? Try to rewrite it. Please try to rewrite this particular prompt and see, right, how well you can rewrite it. Help me to improve the sales. Okay. First, write this. Right? Help me to improve the sales. You will get some results. Right? Now, try to improvise that particular prompt and see the difference in the results. What you can do is, you can see some results, right? You can see some results. Now you are trying to modify that, and you are trying to modify it. So if I want to be specific, I have curated this specifically for management, right? So if I have to write this, right, what I will do is, I will add some context like this. See? I can write it like this, right? Such as 5 sales strategies for an FMCG company, right, in India to increase the revenue by 20% in the next 6 months. Present as a table with estimated cost and impact. So So if I write it like this, what you will get is you will get a very beautiful output. And everything we will tabulate it, right? You will get a tables. In that tables you will see everything. Okay, what is the revenue, how will it increase, what are the strategy, right? So if you try to copy paste this, right, you can copy paste this particular prompt and you can write it. And just try this prompt once. What you can see is you can see tables. Copy paste this. So it will give you a detailed result. So how I can write this prompt and how to see. If I simply give it, this is done. Yeah, this is done. Now if I go back and if I simply write it like this, help me improve the sales. Okay. If I simply write it like this, if I simply write it, say for example like this, help me improve the sales, right? If I can simply write it like this, then what I will get is I will get some generic answers. See, right? The answers that you are saying is something that is very very generic, right? This is something that we all know, and that is all know. It's not specific. It is very generic. But instead of that, what I can do is, right? If I can have this particular, what I can say, prompt, and if I paste this prompt over here, right, if I can paste this prompt over here, now what I will get is I will get a specific answers. See, every time you will get a better answer. So this is how we can generate a good prompt. Okay, and this is how we can generate good results. Okay, so in order to generate a good results, first of all we need to give good prompts. That is the first one. And in order to give the good prompts, we need to be specific. It is not like that you are simply writing any line and it is giving off the results. No, it is not like that. Okay, the prompt should be written as detailed as possible. Okay, give all the details. Say for example, you are working on a research, right? I want to write something, right? I am working on a research. So what I will do is, I can write it like this, right? I am working on a research, right? I'm writing it over here. Say, let me zoom it, right? I can write it like this. I am working on a research, right? And the data source are, I am giving some data source, right? The techniques that I have used is, the techniques that I have used is, whatever the technique that you have used, right? And the result that I have obtained RS, right? Then what I want, now I want to write analysis report, write an analysis. This is how we can write. Okay, this is how we can be specific. Okay, so I have this, right? I have done this particular task, right? In order to do that particular task, what I have done is I have used that particular data set, or I have used that particular data. Now after using this particular data and applying some techniques, I have got this particular result. Now please write the analysis report. So what it will do is it will write all the analysis report based upon this only. Okay, so whatever the results that you will get, right, that results will be very, very good results. Now, the next thing. The next thing. So this is known as, advanced prompting techniques. So we have three advanced techniques. Okay, the first is known as role-based prompting. Okay, the second one is chain of thought, and the third one is prompt chaining. Okay, role-based means over here what we are doing is we are giving that generative AI as a role. We are giving the role to the generative AI. So over here, right, my prompt looks something like this. So see the prompt, right? So you are a management consultant at Tata, right? So this strategy for an e-commerce startup to reduce delivery cost. Right? That means what I am saying that ChatGPT that please act as a management consultant, right? Or I can give it like this as well. You are a teacher of this particular subject, right? Now please teach this topic. Okay, please teach this topic, in easiest way as possible. That can also be done. So this is known as role-based prompt, where we give the user a role. Now you can try this first prompt on your machine or on your cell phones, right? You can try this one. So what the result that you will get? The result that you will get is you will get some results, right? Based upon this, what I will do, right? So the ChatGPT or whatever the generative AI that you are using, it will think that okay, I am a management consultant. I am a management consultant, and if I have to boost the sales, or if I have to reduce delivery costs, then what I will do? Okay, so it will give you its opinion. So if I was something, right? Say for example, tomorrow you are in a certain position. So you can ask the GPT also, right? If you are in the position of say for example XYZ, right? Now I want to implement this with the fund of this many. So how I should proceed and what is the cost breakdown? So this is how you can write. So this is known as role-based prompting. Okay. The next one is chain of thought. Okay. The next one is chain of thought. Chain of thought means, right? Whenever it is giving any prompt, right? Whenever it is giving any result, right? That result is a result of the previous prompt. Say for example, right? Break down the steps for launching a new product in healthcare industry from idea to market entry. Now see, what it will do is, first of all, it will give you the steps. First step, second step, third step. And say for example, if I am in the third step, right, that third step is influenced by first and second step. Okay, if first and second step is successful, then only I will execute the third step. So it will assume that first step is complete, second step is also complete, then the third step is also complete. That means all the steps are interrelated with each other. Okay, so it is simple as cooking a rice. Say for example, I want to make a rice. So first thing is I need to purchase the raw rice or raw material. Right? That is the first step. So if I have a raw material, then the next step that I will do is I will wash it off. That is the next step. So it is a chain of process. Right? After washing it off, then I will put it on the pressure cooker and then I will. So this is the meaning of chain of thought. Okay, chain of thought. Now, the last one is we call it as prompt chain. Okay, here what you can do is you can give multiple prompts. Okay, you can give multiple prompts. Say for example, the first prompt is, right, list 10 risks in expanding into Southeast Asia. Okay, this is the first prompt. So it will give you my 10 risks. What are the risks? Right, if I want to expand my business in Southeast Asia, right? Then in the second prompt, what I am writing, right, for each risk, see, I am forming a chain over here also. Right? For each risk, suggest a mitigation strategy. So how I can overcome that particular risk. Now this will become very, very effective whenever we are doing for certain kind of analysis. Say for example, I want to do drug analysis, right? So what is the drug analysis? Or say for example, what is the market of a drug XYZ? So it will show you the markets, right? So based upon that market, right, what are the improvements that I can do, or what are the new things that I can bring into the table that address the current challenges. So based upon that only, it will give you the results. So this is known as prompt chain. Okay, here we form the chain. Okay, so these three methods are very, very effective whenever we are writing prompt in generative AI. Okay, you can simply go as role based, right? Sometimes you can have chain of thought, and the next is prompt chaining. Okay, now some case studies are there, right? So, like for example, right? If I have a case, right, a retail company expanding online, right? A retail company expanding online. So if I have a prompt like this, you can write this prompt, right? In fact, we can write down, right? So if I am writing this prompt, right, help with online business, that's it. Right? I'm not writing anything, I'm not being very specific about it, right? So if I simply write it, right, and say for example, I'm copying this one, right, help with online business, I'm copying it, and I am pasting it over here. Okay, help with online business. The prompt is really bad, right? Now whatever the answers that you are getting, right, it is very generic. Right? It is very generic answer, whatever the answers that you will get, right? So, studying an online business, right? What we can do, what are the steps, right? Again, if you see over here, right, I can help you with. If you see over here, right, I can help you with. Now, over here, what you will do, say for example, you want to help with marketing strategies, say for example, search engine optimizations, right, ads, everything. So what you have to do, again you have to give all the prompts. Again you have to give the details, right? Now here the role is opposite. You are switching the role, right? What you want that generative AI to do the work for you. Now instead of that, what you are doing, you are working for that generative AI. Right? We are working for that because we are providing the details. Okay, this is the ad company, right? This I am doing, this I will do everything. Instead of ChatGPT giving us answer or your generative AI giving us an answer, right? Over here, what we are doing simply opposite. Okay, we are doing simply opposite. Now, what I can do, right? Instead of this, right? Instead of this, if I can write it like this, right? Instead of this, right? If I can write it like this, say for example, design a 6-month e-commerce strategy for a mid-sized retail company in India, right? Transitioning online, include marketing channels, estimated budgets, technology requirement, and KPIs. Now present it on the table. Now if I copy this prompt, right? If I copy this prompt and if I simply get it over here, now the answers are present. Now this is what we call as a solid plan. Now over here what we can have everything, right? In the 6 months, what are the things that I will do? Right? What are the things that I will do? Right? What will be your focus area? Right? All those details are not being provided by myself. What I have done, I have simply passed these 3 lines. Right? I have not said that okay, what is the budget, what will be the estimated budgets, right? What will be the focus area? I am not being specific about the table also. Okay, what are the contents of the tables? I am not doing it. What I am doing, I am simply giving the prompt and I am letting that generative AI do my work. Now here this is what we are doing. We are simply giving the prompt and we are asking the generative AI to do the work on behalf of us. Now what it is doing you everything, right? Giving all everything that's month focus area, what is marketing channels, right? What are the technology requirements and key KPIs. Okay, key KPIs. What are the key KPIs are there, right? These all things can be done using a prompt. Okay, now. Right. Now, say for example, right? Let us have this small hands-on, right? So this is a problem, right? This is a problem that is improve, employee performance, right? This is a problem that is improve the employee performance. Now what you do is you give it a bad prompt first. You give whatever the prompt that you want to do or how you have done till now, right? Now after that, in the second one, give it as think that you are an HR of a company. Keep it like this, role based. Right? Think that you are an HR of a company or you are a director of a company, right? And you want to have this, you want to improve the employee performance. Now give me the full detailed plan. Now please do it, right? So first of all, give a bad prompt, right? And in the second one, give a role-based prompt. Then see the difference. In the role-based, you can give it like, you are a director of certain companies, right? You want to improve the employee performance, right? So give me all the matrices, right? Then in the form of a table or in the form of a graph or whatever you want, right? And you can plan it out. Say for example, you want to plan for 6 months. And you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference of prompt engineering. How you are writing a good prompt, right? So previously you were writing some prompts. Okay, we all write prompts, right? But this is the way which we write the prompt. So if you try it on, right? You can see the difference. First of all, just give a simple prompt, then in the next run, give the role-based prompt. Right? Imagine that you are working as a director of something, right? So what you want is, you want to increase the employee performance, right? Based upon some criteria, right? Now prepare a full plan for 1 year. So if you give it like this, what you will get is, you will get a very good response. First, just give a bad prompt, right? Simply write, right? How to improve employee performance. You can do it like this. This is how we normally do. This is how we normally pass the queries in ChatGPT. So you can normally pass it like this, how to improve employee performance. Now, you will get a certain result. Next, you will get a certain result. Now, after that, give it as a role-based. Give it as a role-based, right? Think that you are working as a director of this company or vice president or president or whatever the role that you want to give, right? And ask the same question in different way. Now, the results that you are getting will be completely different. In the first result, right? The first result will be generic. Okay, it should be generic, right? Otherwise, in the next one, you can specify the domain also. That you are working as a manager in healthcare industry. You are working as a manager in educational institution. You are working as a director in some pharmaceutical companies, right? So you can give a prompt something like this. So this is the difference, right? This is how we can create a difference, right, in your search results, right? So till now, right, or before this session, right, begin, what we have done is we have written the prompts, right? You have written the prompts, but whatever the prompts that you have, that you will write after this session, right? Please think about how you can efficiently write the prompt. Okay, please think about the techniques that we have discussed, right? Role-based, chain rule, how you can use the chain rule, right? All of those stuff. Okay, please think all of those things, and keeping on that mind, what you can do, you can write the prompt. Right? Now, if I have to see this problem statement only, right? I can simply give it to your generative AI, and I will simply say that, okay, now you are the director. Now you do the stuff. Now it will think as a director. It will act as a director. That we call it as agents. Okay, now my agent AI is working as a director, it is working as a VP, it is working as a president, okay, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so these are the key takeaways of today's session. Okay, the first is generative AI is a management assistant. That means, but it only works as well as you communicate. That means what? That means whatever the prompts that you are giving, it should be very, very specific. Your prompt should be very specific. Now, the next one, right? A bad prompt is vague, generic, and unhelpful. But if you are giving a good prompt, it means that it should be specific, it should be contextual, and it should be structured. These three things you need to understand. Now, whatever you have seen, right? Whatever you have seen till now, right? So this PPT, right? The content of all those PPTs has been generated by your generative AI only. Okay, whatever you have seen till now, right? Whatever the styles that you are seeing, right? Whatever the transitions that you are seeing, everything is been generated by your generative AI only. Okay, I have simply given it as a prompt, right? So based upon the prompt, it has generated all the PPTs. Okay, it has given me all the PPTs in within 1 minute. Everything was ready. The contents one was ready in 1 minute only. So the next one we'll be seeing how we can create this kind of PPTs. Okay, how you can create banners, how you can create PPTs, right? How you can create real-time dashboards. Okay, using generative AI. So all of this will be covering at tomorrow's session. Okay, till now what we have seen how this generative AI works, what are the tools that are present in academics, right, and how to write a prompt. So these three things are very, very important in order to progress with this generative AI. Okay, without progressing in generative, without knowing how to write a good prompt, it is of no use of understanding what is AI tools, what are the various AI tools and how we can use it. If you are not able to use it properly, it is just simply like purchasing a Ferrari and you don't know how to drive. Right? First of all, you need to understand how to drive. And first of all, you must know how to drive. Then only you can drive the Ferrari or whatever the car that you have. Right? So this is what we have learned. We have learned how to drive now. Now in the next session, right, we'll see how to actually use it. Okay, how we can use it in order to generate your PPTs, in order to generate your Excel data. Right? Say for example, you want to have a data, or you can generate it. Right? Sometimes what happens, we don't have any kind of data, right? So we want to have an arbitrary data. So you can have that also, how we can use with generative AI in order to analyze the data. Okay, data analysis. Sometimes what we do is we want to analyze all the data, right? Lots and lots of data are there, right? So we want to analyze it, we want to clean it, we want to format the data. So in the next section we'll be seeing how you can format the data, how you can clean the data, how you can generate the data, how you can generate the PPT. How you can generate, your flyers, everything. We'll be covering everything from the next session, okay? With the help of a prompt. So over here, whatever I have, this is a 14 slides, right? Everything has been generated using AI. Everything. Every content, this is not the content of mine, this has been generated, right? Everything, every stats that you are seeing, right? So you'll be learning how you can do that. These things as well, right? Sometimes it might happen that you need to give a presentation, right? After 1